You can bet your bottom dollar. Great programming coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Stand by. Hold on. Talk at its finest, coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 2 minutes, stand by. We know what guys are talking about. Stand by. A great show coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 30 seconds. Stand by. Don't go away. Stop. If they're talking about it at the barbershop, we're talking about it here on SME. Great show coming up in about 30 seconds. Don't go away. Stand by. It's time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Another great product on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yeah!
I think Dabo will bring a national championship to Clemson.
It ain't about them. It's about the game of football, man.
I'm getting my tip fade cut, Boulder Crescent flash on.
Let's get into these sports with our favorite sports reporter.
Turn it all the way up.
The AlphaMale.
Woo! Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Woo! Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Honestly, about Kobe Bryant, I used to hate the dog shiggity out of this guy. I could not stand Kobe Bryant. I hated him. Jordan is of course, the all-seeing, all-reigning ruler of basketball in ever. Basketball would be nothing without Michael Jordan. I think we'd still be wearing Converses and really short shorts if it wasn't for Michael Jordan.
The AlphaMale.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. It is me. He is I and I am him. I am he that they call the AlphaMale. Woo! Day 2 on the job, people. Day 2 on the job. It is 629-2016. But for those who do not understand the digits, June 29, 2016. A very, very good day. But, it sucks that, and I'm going to turn this music down just a little bit. But it sucks that I have to start the show off, in this matter, having to, recognize the death or the demise of two legends in their respective sports. Of course, those legends, Coach Patt Summitt, former head coach of the Tennessee Vols, and then of course Buddy Ryan, the great inventor of the 4-6 defense. He was the driving force behind that Bears team that recorded 72 sacks in one season. I mean, just it's tough to really talk about this today, and my heart is heavy talking about it because first, let's go ahead and just start off with Coach Summitt. Let's just jump right into it today, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to AlphaMaleSports. It is me. He is I, and I am him. I am he. They call the Alpha Male. Let's just go ahead and just jump right into it. So, of course, yesterday I was at home, and I was waking up, and literally, as soon as I turned on ESPN, breaking news, Coach Patt Summitt dies at the age of 64. The cause of death was her dealings with early onset dementia and Alzheimer's type. Definitely a very difficult time. And I actually got some sound of Coach Summitt actually talking about her first recollection or her first encounter with the disease.
It was late 2010 and that 2010-2011 season when we first started noticing things. And where she could always multitask better than anybody, putting on makeup while driving and talking on the phone and everything. Then something that multitasking kind of went away, and that's when we noticed it.
Oh gosh, at first I was like, why me? And I think after I really thought about, now let's get a game plan. Now we got to work with it and got to do what we got to do. Because there's a lot of other people out there, a lot just like me. So, that's why I wanted to get it out and come public.
Now, I like, how Coach Summitt actually approached that. She approached it kind of just like a coach would. Well, here's the problem. Let's go ahead and develop a game plan. You know what I'm saying? So, if I sound too jolly, I hope that I don't come off as offensive to anyone. I always want to seem, like I said, I feel as though, we should celebrate the life and not mourn so heavily on the death or concentrate so heavily on the death. The lady was happy at doing what she did, and she did it very well for 38 years. She was the head coach for the Lady Vols at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Started at the age of 22. She started at the age of 22. That's amazing all in itself. Won 8 national championships. She was the first NCAA coach to achieve 1,000 wins. In total, she has 1,098 wins in total. She actually even went on to coach a U.S. women's team to gold in the 1984 Olympics. She even won. I think she won silver or gold. She medaled. I know for a fact she medaled in the Olympics as well. And she never had a losing season. In 38 seasons at the University of Tennessee, she never had a losing season. My memory with Coach Patt, I don't have a personal one. I never met her personally, but I just always knew when I saw college basketball or women's college basketball, you saw that orange and you saw her. You saw the creamsicle orange and you saw her. I can honestly say that if it wasn't for Coach Patt, I don't even think the men's football team would have been as good as it was had it not been for her. It was even said that she had a hand in the recruiting for other sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how influential she was. But don't let me tell you. I actually have some other sound from other people who knew her even closer, and they even had some things to say about her.
Well, I think we see Pat, and she has the focus. But what I loved about Pat was her passion.
She had the foresight, and she had the vision, and the intensity level. And she made it like, hey, it's okay for women to stare you down on the sideline and be upset and show emotion.
Everyone who played 4 seasons on her team graduated.
And I think that last statistic that gentleman said was the most important thing, was that everyone that played 4 seasons for Coach Summitt all graduated. I mean, just amazing. You know what I mean? And like I said, I like to celebrate the life, and I think that's what I'm gonna just do today, man. I'm gonna still have a good time, but I'm gonna definitely celebrate the lives of these 2 great people. Coach Summitt and of course Coach Buddy Ryan. Now, one more thing about Coach Summitt before I go ahead and start talking about Coach Ryan. Coach Summitt, I can't help but look at Coach Summitt and I can't help but think of the late and great Coach Eddie Robinson, frat brother of mine, yes, and also head coach of the Grambling State Tigers, man. Just their influence. How it's great. It's crazy how their influence, and I mean Coach Patt Summitt and Eddie Robinson, how their influence just permeated onto their respective playing fields. I mean, it just oozed onto the playing field, so much so that they affected the people that they coached. For Coach Summitt being a woman and just literally taking over a male-dominated sport. Now, granted, she coached women's basketball, but she inspired other young women to be great young women. She didn't tell them to be anything different than who they were. She just told them to be great women. And I really feel as though Coach Summitt is, hey, you know what I mean? You earned your crown, baby girl. You know what I'm saying? You earned your crown. So by all means, man, I definitely have to tip my hat to Coach Summitt, man. It sucks that she died at such an early age from such a debilitating disease, but, may she rest in peace. Now, yesterday morning, alongside with, Coach Patt Summitt's, let me be respectful, but right after I heard Coach Patt Summitt's, her death, I got the news of her death, literally, like not 10 minutes later, I heard about legendary defensive coordinator, Coach Buddy Ryan, hearing about his death. Of course, former NFL head coach and influential defensive coordinator Buddy Ryan died Tuesday. Now, he, of course, was 85. He was almost 20 some odd years older than Coach Summitt. So he had actually lived his life. He's the father of Rex and Rob Ryan, 2 defensive coordinators. One who is an NFL head coach now for the Buffalo Bills. The other, Rob Ryan, was the defensive coordinator for the Saints last time I checked. But Buddy Ryan, he was the king of all kings when it came to defense. He was the one that orchestrated the 85 Bears when they recorded the 72 sack season. Now, Buddy was outspoken. You know what I'm saying? Buddy Ryan was a little more outspoken, a little more brash. He was more out there, you know what I mean? And he was known for building summer footballs, like I said, top defenses, relentless, and it just caused havoc on the field. Now, Coach Ryan's first job was actually was a defensive coordinator. I think it was for the Minnesota Vikings back in 1976. Then he would go on from that position, and he'd actually get a position with the Bears. Rob then renowned skyrocketed the 46 defense, which is now found in almost every single NFL package nowadays. Literally found everywhere. And he coached some of the greatest players like Mike Singletary, like Richard Dent, the refrigerator Perry. He was a great coach. Now, granted, and I'd be telling my age, and of course you guys know my age, I really didn't necessarily know much about Buddy Ryan.